I bought a shiny crossover once, felt like a king for 3 months. Then the check engine light came on. Then again. Then again. Somewhere between the second repair bill and the third, sorry, we need one more day, I realized I'd bought the hype, not the vehicle. So today, no fluff, no sponsored nonsense, just the 3 compact SUVs actually worth your money in 22,000. Built to last, built to perform, built to save you money, not cost you more. And by the time we get to number 1, you'll see why Toyota just flipped the entire segment on its head. Stick around because the pick changes how you think about buying a car entirely. Let's get into it. Number 3. 2026 Subaru Forester. And look, I know what some of you are thinking. Subaru, really? Where's the excitement? Where's the drama? And that's exactly the point. The Forester doesn't care about drama. It cares about showing up for you every single day for the next 15 years without complaining. While every other brand is busy cramming questionable tech and aggressive styling into their vehicles to grab attention on Instagram, Subaru is quietly building one of the most dependable SUVs on the American market. That's not an accident. That's a philosophy. Let's talk about what this thing looks like, because it's actually grown on a lot of people. The Forester has a clean, boxy, functional design that doesn't apologize for what it is. It's not trying to look like a spaceship or a muscle car. It communicates one thing and one thing only: solidity. Every panel, every line is built to age well. And honestly, in a market full of vehicles that look outdated after 3 years, that kind of timeless design is underrated. Now, if you want to take things up a level, you need to look at the Wilderness trim. This is where Subaru gets serious. You're talking protective plastic body cladding, real metal skid plates underneath, Yokohama Geolander all-terrain tires that were made for actual dirt and gravel, and a lifted suspension that means business. This isn't the kind of off-road package that's just for show. This is the real thing. Size-wise, the Forester sits at 183 inches long, about 72 inches wide, and 68 inches tall. That wheelbase of 105 inches gives you real highway stability without making the thing a nightmare to park downtown. But here's the detail that separates the Forester from almost everything else in this class, and it's something most reviewers gloss over: ground clearance. Standard models give you 8.7 inches. The Wilderness pushes that to 9.2 inches. That is legitimately impressive. There are so-called adventure SUVs out there charging premium prices that can't even touch those numbers. They'll scrape their bumpers on a speed bump while the Forester is happily crawling over rocky terrain. Weight comes in around 3,600 pounds for the gas version and about 3,800 for the hybrid. Totally reasonable for a vehicle this capable. Step inside and you'll notice something immediately. Subaru didn't try to trick you. The cabin is functional, bright, and designed around visibility in a way that very few competitors match. Those thin pillars and wide windows give you a commanding view of the road that actually makes driving feel more relaxed and confident. 5 adults ride comfortably in here. Not technically comfortably, not squeeze in there and don't complain. Comfortably, actually comfortably. The materials are honest. They're not trying to pass themselves off as luxury leather when they're not. But the build quality is solid and designed to hold up over years of real use. Higher trims add synthetic leather and better sound insulation, but the focus stays on practicality throughout. And then there's the cargo space, which is honestly where the Forester makes its strongest case. 30 cubic feet with all seats up, 75 cubic feet when you fold them down. 75. That is massive for this segment. If you're the kind of person who actually uses their SUV, whether that means camping trips, hauling gear, kid sports equipment, or just doing a serious Costco run, the Forester swallows it all without a fight. Technology is present without being overwhelming. The 11.6-inch vertical touchscreen runs wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's not the flashiest system you'll ever use, but it's stable, fast, and intuitive. And I'll take a stable system over a gorgeous one that freezes or crashes on me in the middle of navigating to a trailhead. Higher trims add a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and an 11-speaker Harman Kardon audio system that sounds genuinely great. Under the hood, the 2.5L naturally aspirated boxer engine makes 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a CVT that keeps things smooth. 0 to 60 happens in about 8.3 seconds, which is perfectly respectable for this type of vehicle. The hybrid version bumps output to 194 horsepower and improves efficiency in city driving. And here's a detail that long-term owners will tell you matters more than the horsepower number. The Forester uses a timing chain instead of a belt. That single decision saves you hundreds of dollars and a major headache somewhere around the 67-mile mark. Every single Forester, no matter which trim you choose, comes standard with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive. Not as an option, not as a $1,500 upgrade that you find buried in the fine print. Standard. The Wilderness version can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is legitimately useful and legitimately rare in this class. Fuel economy lands between 26 and 28 mpg for the gas engine, with the hybrid doing a little better in urban conditions. Safety is covered by the EyeSight suite, which includes automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, and lane keeping assist. Crash test ratings are 5 stars across the board. Pricing starts around $30,000 and climbs to about $43,000. The hybrid ranges from $38,000 to $45,000. Yes, it's more than the base competition. But you're not just buying a vehicle, you're buying a decade of not having to worry about it. The Forester is for people who understand that the most exciting thing about a car is that it starts every single morning without drama. Boring is beautiful when boring means you're never calling a tow truck. Number 2, 2006 Honda CR-V. And if the Forester is the rugged, dependable outdoors type, the CR-V is the person who has everything organized before you even ask, never misses a deadline, and somehow makes it all look effortless. This is the rational choice, the one that makes sense from every possible angle. The exterior design is clean, modern, and well-proportioned without any unnecessary aggression. It's not trying to be something it's not. It looks refined and balanced, and that's actually a harder thing to pull off than most designers will admit. If you want a slightly more outdoorsy aesthetic, Honda offers the Trail Sport version, exclusive to the hybrid with darkened trim and specific wheels. But let's be real about what it is. It's an urban interpretation of the outdoor lifestyle. It looks great, but you're not taking it rock crawling. Dimensionally, the CR-V plays the numbers smart. At 185 inches long and 74 inches wide, it's actually bigger than both the RAV4 and the Mazda CX-5. And that extra real estate translates directly into one of the best interiors in the segment. Honda has always been exceptional at ergonomics, and the CR-V proves it. The driving position is comfortable. Visibility is excellent. The large center console adds practical storage that you'll use every single day. The layout is intuitive in a way that feels almost effortless because Honda spent a long time thinking about where your hand naturally reaches and made sure something useful is always there. Rear passengers get genuinely generous legroom, not the cramped, technically fits a human legroom you get in some competitors. 5 adults travel in real comfort here. Cargo space is one of the CR-V's biggest selling points, 31 cubic feet with seats up and 39 cubic feet with them folded. The load floor is flat. The opening is wide and the design makes it easy to load and unload. Perfect for road trips, Costco runs, airport pickups, youth soccer teams, whatever your life actually looks like. Honda upgraded their technology game significantly, and it shows. Every CR-V comes standard with a 9-inch touchscreen, running wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Higher trims add a 10.2-inch digital gauge cluster and a Bose audio system that sounds excellent. The integrated Google services make the whole experience feel current. It's not cutting edge, but it includes everything that real people actually use, and it does it reliably. Under the hood, you've got 2 great options. First is the 1.5L turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Smooth, efficient, proven. 0 to 60 in about 8.1 seconds. This engine has been refined over years, and it shows. You can get this one in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The second option is the hybrid, and this is where things get interesting. The 2.0L engine paired with electric motors delivers 204 horsepower and a very healthy 247 pound-feet of torque. That electric torque delivery makes the hybrid feel more responsive around town than you'd expect. 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds. And the improved all-wheel drive system is exclusive to the hybrid, which is a meaningful reason to consider it beyond just the fuel savings. Fuel economy lands around 30 mpg for the gas version. The hybrid can hit up to 40 combined. And in city driving, where those electric motors carry most of the load, it can do even better than that. Both engines use timing chains. There it is again, that detail that separates the vehicles built for long-term ownership from the ones that are built for the brochure. Safety is comprehensive. Honda Sensing comes standard on every single CR-V, covering automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, and a full suite of driver assistance features. Crash test scores from both NHTSA and 2IHS are excellent. Towing is modest. The gas version handles 1,500 pounds, and the hybrid comes in at 1,000 pounds. Not a truck, but enough for small trailers, jet skis, or a light camper for weekend getaways. Pricing starts at $32,300 and tops out around $43,600 for the hybrid Trail Sport. Warranty coverage is solid, and parts availability for Honda vehicles is about as good as it gets anywhere in the country. When the day comes that something needs attention, and eventually something always does, you won't be waiting 3 weeks for a part to arrive from overseas. The CR-V doesn't try to dazzle you. It doesn't need to. It just does everything right day after day, year after year. This is the SUV that never gives you a reason to complain about it. And in the real world, that is worth more than any headline feature. If you want your vehicle to be the most boring, predictable, dependable part of your entire day, the CR-V is your answer. And that's the highest compliment I know how to give a car. Number 1. 2260 Toyota RAV4. And I'll be honest with you, picking number 1 was not a difficult decision because Toyota in 2026 didn't just update the RAV4. They made a statement, they looked at the entire compact SUV segment, decided the future wasn't coming fast enough and pulled it forward themselves. Here's what they did that nobody else in this class has done. They completely eliminated traditional gas-only engines. Every single RAV4 sold in 2026 is a hybrid. Not an option, not a special edition. Everyone. That is a bold, decisive, historically significant move, and it changes the math on owning one of these entirely. What? Let's talk about how it looks, because Toyota made sure the RAV4 looks like it belongs in the future. The lineup is divided into 3 distinct personalities, and each one is genuinely different from the others. The limited trim is clean, premium, and designed for buyers who want presence and elegance without going to a luxury brand. The Woodland is for people who actually leave the pavement with rugged styling and adventure-ready features that back up the aesthetic. And then there's the GR Sport, which is the most aggressive-looking compact SUV Toyota has ever produced, with a firmer stance, sport-tuned details, and wheels up to 20 inches that make it look like it means business. All 3 share the new hammerhead-style front end and more pronounced proportions that give the RAV4 a visual presence its predecessors never had. This is no longer a vehicle that blends into the background. It commands attention. Inside, Toyota finally delivered the modern interior that RAV4 fans had been asking for. Soft materials, quality fit and finish, and a genuinely contemporary design that feels like a meaningful step up from what came before. The driving position is comfortable, the layout is well thought out, and it works just as well on a long road trip as it does in stop-and-go traffic. Technology is where the 2026 RAV4 really flexes. Depending on your trim level, you get either a 10.5-inch or 12.3-inch center touchscreen, and it's accompanied by a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. Add in a heads-up display that projects speed, navigation, and safety information directly onto the windshield, and you've got a cockpit that genuinely rivals vehicles costing significantly more. The 800-watt JBL audio system is exceptional. The multimedia system itself is faster and more fluid than anything Toyota has offered before. They're done being seen as conservative, and the interior makes that loud and clear. Now, let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where the RAV4 story really gets compelling. The conventional hybrid pairs a 2.5L 4-cylinder with electric motors to produce around 219 combined horsepower. That electric torque hits immediately, which means the RAV4 feels noticeably quicker and more responsive than its horsepower number suggests. City driving is smooth and almost effortless. Highway cruising is refined. It's a system that Toyota has been perfecting for over 2 decades, and in 2026, it is definitively the best in this class. But if you want the full experience, the RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid is something else entirely. That same 2.5L engine, paired with more powerful electric motors, combines for approximately 302 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, which puts it firmly in sports sedan territory. And here's the part that changes the ownership math: up to 50 miles of pure electric range. If your daily commute is under 50 miles, and for most Americans, it absolutely is, you could drive this vehicle for months without ever stopping at a gas pump. Let that sink in. A full-size, fully capable family SUV that covers most of your daily driving on electricity alone, with a full hybrid system ready the moment you need range for a road trip. Both systems use timing chains. You already know what that means. Traction options are well thought out. Electronic on-demand AWD engages intelligently when needed. The Woodland adds all-terrain tires for buyers who want genuine capability away from the pavement. The GR Sport gets a sport-tuned suspension for sharper, more precise handling on the road. Towing capacity on AWD versions reaches 3,500 pounds. That is genuinely impressive for a compact hybrid SUV, and more than enough for the kinds of weekend adventures most RAV4 buyers are actually planning. Safety technology is covered by Toyota Safety Sense 4.0, the most comprehensive version yet. Automatic emergency braking, lane departure assistance, adaptive cruise control, and a full array of driver aids are all standard. It's thorough, it's proven, and it's active without being annoying. Pricing is transparent. Hybrid limited versions start around $33,000 to $34,000. A WD and Woodland variants range from $35,000 to $42,000 depending on configuration. The Prime starts above $45,000 and can approach $50,000 in top configurations. And yes, that is a real investment. But here's what makes it worth it. Toyota backs the hybrid system with an 8-year 100,000-mile warranty. The battery gets a 10-year 150,000-mile warranty. Toyota's parts network is the most extensive and accessible in the entire industry. And the hybrid system itself has a proven reliability record that spans decades of real-world ownership data, not just optimistic projections. When you run the total cost of ownership numbers, including fuel savings, reduced maintenance, and long-term reliability, the RAV4 doesn't just compete with the field. It wins. The 2026 Toyota RAV4 is not just the best compact SUV you can buy right now. It's proof that the future of personal transportation is already here. And Toyota got there first, while most of the competition is still trying to figure out how to catch up. So, here's where we land. 3 excellent vehicles, 3 different types of buyers. The Subaru Forester, if you want a machine that will outlast almost everything else on the road, handle any terrain you point it at, and never flinch. The Honda CR-V, if you want the perfectly engineered, supremely rational, endlessly practical choice that makes ownership genuinely stress-free. And the Toyota RAV4, if you want the most technologically advanced, forward-thinking, genuinely future-ready compact SUV available at any price point. The perfect SUV is the one that fits how you actually live, not the one with the best commercial. Buy with your head, ignore the hype. Do the math on what you'll spend over 5 or 10 years of ownership, and the right answer will be obvious. Now I want to hear from you. Which one would you choose? And why? Forester, CR-V, or RAV4? Leave your answer in the comments. I read all of them, and I respond when I can. If this helped you cut through the noise and think more clearly about your next purchase, hit the like button, subscribe to Monday Autos, and turn on notifications. We don't sell hype here. We give you the information you actually need to buy smart. See you in the next one.